shopping in your local grocery store or farmer's market, more and more of us want to know where that food comes from. And you may be surprised to learn that a lot of that local fruit and produce you see is from right here in Carroll County. To find out more, I stopped in at the Southwest Virginia Farmers Market, a place where people from all over the region come to check out the variety of locally grown food, brought in straight from the farm.
Ag has always been really important to this county's economy and basically the whole region's economy. We've always been known for cabbage and apples. We've tried to diversify that over the last 23, 4, 5 years. Now we've got about 60,000 boxes of broccoli a year, for example. We're the #1 producer of pumpkins in the state of Virginia and one of the biggest in the United States now. We're at about 4,000 acres of those within 50 miles of the market. Greens has went from a zero crop to probably a $2 million a year crop for us, okay? Ag is kind of taking the place of some of the industries that have kind of fallen by the wayside in the last several years for us. And I think, we're going to continue to see that.
A wide variety of food grown, harvested, and delivered here and to food stores throughout Virginia and Tennessee. And be sure to visit the farms to see firsthand how much hard work goes into growing this food. For my visit, I headed to Levering Orchards. Here there are 52 acres of fruit being grown, 32 of which are in cherries alone, making up the largest cherry orchard in the South. I met up with Frank Levering, who is the 3rd generation of his family who has worked these orchards.
Levering Orchard is 107 years old. It was founded in 1908 by my grandparents, Ralph and Clara Levering, who moved here from East Tennessee. And my grandfather, Ralph Levering, actually walked here from Asheville looking for a site for an orchard.
And they found that site here on the southeastern slope of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And when you look out at the orchard, you get a spectacular view, even in the rain. Here you can bring your friends and family and handpick your own cherries.
It's fun and exciting, and people come out with their families and they have picnics and they just have a ball. We don't charge for people eating cherries while they're picking. There's no entrance fee to get into our orchard. So people just come and, a lot of times you'll have little kids with, cherry stains coming out of the corners of their mouth, Did you eat any cherries? No, It's a great way of educating people about how hard it is to produce this food, what farmers are up against, to come up with this product. You get people out there on the site, where farming is actually happening. They see your tractors and they see your orchard ladders, and they see all your equipment and all your workers, and they have a much better picture of what's going on a farm.
Another must-see is the Peaceful Heart Alpaca Farm, where you'll find Charlotte Willis raising these little guys to make clothing and other items to sell in her store.
I started spinning, and I loved working with the alpaca fiber, and so I thought it'd be fun to have a couple alpacas and spin their fiber and make some things. And when we met the alpacas, we decided that we all fell in love with them and wanted to raise them. So we have 50 alpacas now, so it grew beyond our original thought of a couple alpacas.
Come visit and pet the alpacas and learn more about the items made from their fiber. Beautiful handmade items you won't find anywhere else. After my visit to the farm, I headed to downtown Hillsville, a truly unique small town with lots of charm.
Retta, this is such a cute little downtown. We're standing in front of the historic courthouse, and you've got some shops and some restaurants. This is like stepping back in time here.
Yes, we're right in the middle of our historical district. There's numerous museums and the Hale Wilkinson Carter home and our family shoe store all have quite a bit of history associated with them.
I took Retta's advice and headed first inside the courthouse, where you'll find the historical museum. Here you'll find exhibits and artifacts that show the heritage of this region. It's also where the story of Sidney Allen and the Courthouse Massacre is told, one of the darkest days in the region's history. Right next door, you'll find the family shoe store, an old-time independent full-service store which has been in business for 65 years.
These are cute, and they're only $12.99.
And if you like shopping, this is definitely the place to be on Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends. That's when the Hillsville Flea Market is held, where nearly 1,000 vendors take over the town, and the population here grows exponentially.
When it comes to breakfast or lunch, you got to come here to Hillsville Diner. This is the oldest operational streetcar in the state of Virginia. They have things on the menu like this stewed beef, which has been on the menu unchanged for over 60 years.
For some downtime and a place where you can really get away and enjoy the great outdoors, head to the Crooked Creek Wildlife Fishing Area. For a small fee, fishermen can come and fish for a variety of trout in the fully stocked creek. Jonathan Howard stocks the creek himself with fish that are brought in these big tanks in the back of his truck, so you're guaranteed to get a fish on the line.
It's a real nice stream, and you come during the week, it's not so crowded. You have a long stretch of water to fish. It's not only this part, but it goes way upstream. You're not elbow to elbow fishing with somebody most of the time. You catch some, most of the time around a foot, sometimes more. On the most part, you'll catch better fish here than you do in the regular stock streams.
So be sure to come to Carroll County and get a taste of a region that is bringing in the young and old alike, and it can all be enjoyed in a day's drive.